We've got to have some avenue for law-abiding citizens to be able to protect themselves when they're walking to and from work that work in our federal office buildings. They're not permitted to bring weapons in, even if they have a concealed carry permit in DC. Allow them to have locker space so they can walk to protect themselves in one of the most crime-ridden cities in the entire United States, so that they can protect themselves and put the individuals in, put the stuff in lockers, get it on their way out, and they're not going to be victims of these crimes in DC because they'll be able to defend themselves.
There's Florida Representative Greg Steube. He's on Fox News talking about this new bill he's putting forward that would allow congressmen, legislators to bring their guns, stun guns, bow and arrows, anything that they want into the halls, but they have to put them in these lockers, at least establish these lockers, so at least they're not walking around in the halls with these things. That's the next step. The first step is to get them in the building. Still though, his reasoning is that all this crime in the crime-ridden city of Washington, DC, so the legislators should be carrying more guns because I guess they're more important. But still, this is part of his plan. The Safe Storage Lockers for House Office Buildings Act that he put forward would require Capitol Police to install and operate lockers at the entrances of House office buildings where workers could store those weapons. Now in Washington, D.C., individuals are allowed by law to carry and use certain weapons for self-defense. That includes self-defense sprays, stun guns, concealed firearms. However, both DC and federal law prohibit individuals from carrying these weapons inside of that federal building. It's really weird though, because I'm not sure why he's concerned about crime in Washington, DC and how he's got to have guns, because again, unfounded belief system that if every lawmaker's running around with guns as they walk to the halls of Congress, that suddenly, the crime issue wouldn't be a problem anymore. Or a matter of fact, they can just go shooting into the middle of a crowd because they're afraid of someone. They can do that already. He just wants to take it all the way up to the door. Or this is just one of those things where he wants to go on Fox News and let everyone know that he's all about more guns in society. That's a selling point. But still, again, I remember that violence in Washington, D.C. that people like Tucker Carlson like to downplay. Is he not believing him anymore?
Taken as a whole, the video record does not support the claim that January 6th was an insurrection. In fact, it demolishes that claim. They were peaceful, they were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists, they were sightseers.
Washington, D.C. is full of sightseers. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but there is one more indication that Mr. Steube is all about his guns. Watch that.
Their plans and their intentions are clear. They want to take away law-abiding citizens' ability to purchase the firearm of their choice, and don't let them fool you that they are not attempting to take away your ability to purchase handguns. They're using the magazine ban to do it. Right here in front of me, I have a Sig Sauer P226. Comes with a 21-round magazine. This gun would be banned. Here's a 12-round magazine. This magazine would be banned under this current bill. It doesn't fit because this gun was made for a 20-round, 21-round magazine. This gun would be banned under this bill. Here's a Sig Sauer 320. It takes a 20-round magazine. Here's a 12-round magazine that would be banned. It doesn't fit because it would be banned. This gun would be banned under this bill. Here's a gun I carry every single day to protect myself, my family, my wife, my home. This is a XL Sig Sauer P365. Comes with a 15-round magazine. Here's a 7-round magazine, which would be less than what would be lawful under this bill if this bill were to become law. It doesn't fit. So this gun would be banned.
I hope the gun is not loaded.
I'm at my house. I can do whatever I want with my guns.
Congratulations, I'm a badass, and I'm gonna talk about all these guns that I've got. That was another nod to the same crowd. Your thoughts here, yes?
I'm just still laughing at all of his guns. And he's like, I'm at my house. I mean, I live in Texas. I feel like I know these people, but it's still funny to see. But they wouldn't need to protect themselves if they would do something about the guns in Washington, D.C. and across the country. Literally do anything at this point, anything. One thing would be better than the absolute nothing that they insist on doing. And it's sort of baffling how he can recognize that this is a problem that threatens them, the lawmakers, directly. And instead of thinking, oh, maybe this is a real problem and maybe we should do something about it, his solution is still to do nothing and to instead introduce more guns. It's kind of a weird arms race that we're in where it's all or nothing. And it's entirely our fault that we're in it. not me and you. It's not our fault. We know whose fault it is. We keep thinking that they won't solve the problem because it isn't their problem, because they've never lost anyone to gun violence, because it doesn't hurt them. So they have the privilege of ignoring the problem while they can proselytize about it on Fox News, about the Second Amendment. It's just a really strange sort of dissonance, I guess. Yeah, I think that's
it's odd. It's odd because they're absolutely opposed to preventative measures for anything. Let's just clean up the blood afterwards and then add more guns to the situation. Let's do nothing about it. If you're concerned about the crime in whatever city you want to throw out there, discover and look into why the crime.
There's always a cause for the crime, and it's usually poverty, but that's a much bigger problem to solve. You can't just throw guns at poverty and fix the problem.
And you also can't just call those folks names and say, let's shove them aside and act like they don't exist, which is, of course, the staple here.